So, what's up y'all? My name is Freddie Crittenden and welcome back to my channel. Let's get started with part 3 of the Athlete Survival Guide. Okay, on the previous episode of Pro Athlete Survival Guide, I talked about the magic bullet and how beneficial it's been implementing that in my daily routine with meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I still encourage you to check that out. If you have any thoughts, any questions about that, hit the comments below and I'll gladly answer those questions. Let's move on to the next episode. So this episode, we'll start with one question. Is it a super spike or is that a super Sike? That is the question. So let's get started. Dang it. The other one is right there, but it's like too far. I should put it. God dang it. Got the whole setup going. There we go. Nike Air Zoom Maxfly. Pros and cons. Pros, as you can see, I got a lot of mileage on these bad boys. It's definitely worth it. The main difference that I feel is like a certain leverage when I sprint in them. These make your feet get into position to propulse you. You know, has these air bubbles in it right there. Those are malleable. They bend, they move, they allow for a little bit more movement and reaction in the ground. And they were the first ones to do it. Nike has an innovative technology that's called Zoom X, which is like a foam as well as a carbon plate that runs along the line of the spike that goes from heel all the way to toe. And that's designed for propulsion and stability. All of this stuff tied together just makes this a beast of a product when you're trying to get everything you can out of every step when sprinting. I've used these for as long as they've been out. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. Cons of this super spike. A lot of the colors are ugly. They don't really go at anything. Another con is the price. These usually run around like 180 to 190. So they're also very, very high in demand and there's usually low stock. Then when it's time to get to racing in January, we can't even get a pair of spikes because they're on back order for 3 months. It takes a while to break these in. So when I first got these spikes, I immediately felt a difference and a benefit from using them, but we had some sessions on the curve and the way the leverage feels and the angles of the movements, if I would have to go on the curve, it felt like it had my ankles exposed. It felt like, if I would take a step going into a curve, it almost pushes you out because there's just so much force coming back into the foot when you're running in these. So for the first like 3 months, I made sure I didn't have these spikes on if I had any fast 120s or 150s or 200 or anything like that because I just didn't feel comfortable going full speed on the curve in these. These spikes break. I've never heard of a spike actually breaking because that's just something that's been unheard of a lot of my career. These air pockets, although they're really beneficial and they help a lot, they've popped. All of my training partners, and I have 6 or 7 of them, all of them have had a pair of Air Zoom Maxfly that have popped. So if you really want to buy in and commit to these, you have to get a couple pair because chances are they're gonna pop while you're racing in them. Funny story, I actually had a race at Adidas Grand Prix, and that's the street race that they have in downtown Atlanta. And it was like a raised elevated street. It was actually really cool. Had a raised elevated track with the runway. It was like 4 or 5 lanes. They had audience and the crowd right along the whole strip of the track. So like literally everyone was just watching. But the warm up at that meet wasn't so great. They just had like a rubber rollout for us to warm up on. And underneath that we were at the park. So underneath that it was just cobblestone, very uneven, very like kind of sketchy. There were some holes. They like taped the pieces together with duct tape so they wouldn't move. So it was just a very sketchy warm-up area. And I had these spikes on, and I hit a hole or something. I ran over a crack, and my spike literally broke in half. So this, I don't know if this is I don't think this is the carbon plate, but this plastic piece right here, this plastic piece, it broke all the way across here. So literally this piece was dangling. I like came out of the blocks and it immediately happened, and this happened 5 minutes before my race. And I'm like, what is happening? My spike just broke in half. How have we come to this point, you know? But yeah, so that just goes to show, for some reason, these spikes have a tendency to break. But it's cool because Nike knows about it, has learned about it, and if you have a spike that's broken, you can send them in and they will replace it for free, which is like an amazing thing that Nike has done on their end to maintain their integrity in their product and to keep customers happy. The last con that I would say that we've found or have contemplated and have thought has been something, there could be a part to training in these too much, because obviously you get the benefit of performance and positioning and things like that. But if you train in these too much, it could have a negative impact on your ability to perform at a competition. We're actually kicking that around right now. We're trying to see if that's actually a thing or not, and I'll get back to you on that. But that could be something to think about. So training is something that's a little bit easier on your body and on your feet each day. That could be a con as well. So that's all I got for the Air Zoom Maxfly. The resounding conclusion is these are super spike. They've blazed the trail of carbon fiber, carbon plate, the air bubble, the Zoom X innovative Nike technology, and they have changed the game, and a lot of companies have followed suit. That's all I got. So thanks for checking out this review of the Air Zoom Maxfly. If you like this video, please comment, like, subscribe. This is part 3 of the Pro Athlete Survival Guide, and I hope to see you on the next one. Peace.